And Ronen Bergman joins me now from Tel Aviv. He's a New York Times investigative journalist and co-author of 7 Days in January, How Trump Pushed U.S. and Iran to the Brink of War. He's also the author of Rise and Kill First, The Secret History of Israel's Targeted Assassinations. Ronen, welcome. Thank you for being with us. Now, you and your colleagues write that the operation to kill General Soleimani, quote, propelled the U.S. to the precipice of war. And then you give us a timeline of events. How long had the U.S. government been planning to strike? And when did they make the decision to strike Soleimani?
Well, the collection of intelligence, the acquiring of capabilities in both territories that were chosen for that operation, because it was clear from the beginning that it's going to be very hard to operate in Iran, where Soleimani is highly guarded and not comes in any kind of connection with non-Iranian and non-Iranian militia as he is in Syria and in Iraq. So these two territories were chosen as back as 18 months ago for the search into capabilities, the recruit of agents from different bodies and organizations from both airports, both in Damascus and in Baghdad, trying to understand what's the timeline, what's the schedule, what's the modus operandi, what's the routine for someone like Soleimani. He might be targeted and is trying, of course, to avoid any kind of surveillance. And also trying to understand what would be the best territory. And it turns out that Iraq was chosen because in Syria, it's much harder for American forces to act. And also in Syria, Soleimani was going along and meeting with Hezbollah operative, high-rank Hezbollah operative. And the U.S. was very much concerned that someone from Hezbollah would be killed along with him, getting Hezbollah into the circle of revenge. Hezbollah, a very potent and very lethal and capable organization. So they chose Iraq. Now, back in May 2019, when the actual deterioration of relations between Iran and the U.S. amplified, this is where a lot of people in American intelligence kept on identifying Soleimani as the core point for commanding, coordinating, and initiating the campaign against U.S. and U.S. allies in the Gulf, the puncturing of the tankers, the missiles against Saudi airports, the threatening of other American allies targets. There were people inside American intelligence, there were people advising the president, people advising the chief of the CIA, saying if you want to do something, if you want to demonstrate American force, then you need to start with the commander of the Al-Quds Force, Major General Qassem Soleimani. So the last phase of actual preparation for the assassination have started in May and gradually developed into a plan. In September, JSOC, the Command of Special Operation, and CENTCOM got into the planning of the operation, and they ran a few models to show that they are able to pinpoint where Soleimani is, step preparing the drones that would take the initiative at the end. And of course, the last stage, after proving the intelligence community and the armed forces proved that they are able to take Soleimani out, it was up to the president to make a call. And I think the president, as far as we understand, the New York Times team that looked through the last 7 days, the president changed his mind and decided that he will authorize the kill and also take full and exclusive American responsibility for that strike after the killing of the American citizen in the Iraqi camp and the siege over the embassy. That has changed the president's mind and made him authorize the assassination.
Ronen Bergman, thank you so much for joining us. Fascinating article. I especially enjoyed the way you illuminated the back-channel route that Switzerland played in high-level communications between the two countries. Ronen Bergman, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Thanks.